ESBR Boxing. We're back, myself and Danny. We are here reacting to Hamzah Sheeraz Tyler Denny fight. We did the final predictions, and we're here tying off the loop with the post-fight review. Before we obviously get into that, like and subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you thought of the fight as well, and obviously, check out the other videos we've got from the card, and let us know what you think of them as well, and how those results are playing out. But Danny, we've seen a fairly destructive performance there from Hamzah Sheeraz. I mean, I don't even know what to say about it really, other than some people were saying stoppage. I'm going to give you a bit of credit actually, because you were saying beforehand that you think he might go 12 because it might be quite hard to hit Tyler Denny. And actually, the few times he didn't get hit, it did look quite good. Look, he got hit what, twice, two or three times quite hard. The rest of that time he actually moved quite well. But I mean, bloody hell, he went down the first time in the first three punches, and then the second round. Yeah, I mean it's an interesting performance. But I suppose what is to say? I mean, what's your reaction to that really from Hamza Sheeraz? Did you expect it to be that? Obviously, not necessarily expect it to be that brutal, but what's your immediate reaction having watched that?
Yeah, tough night for me, tough night for Tyler Denny. Yeah, Hamzah Sheeraz, he is the business, and we see so many prospects when they jump up, they maybe not even necessarily lose, but they don't look as good. But he's looking better and better. His power is serious, like it's the real deal, and he's so much more than that, though. I mean, he disguises his shots so well, his punch selection, he's very accurate. Like he didn't for the finish, he threw three, four, five punches and landed the majority cleanly. And I know Tyler Denny might feel a bit aggrieved the fight was stopped, but I don't know how much more he really wanted of that. So
Mm.
incredibly impressive A-star performance for Hamza Shiraz. We need to see him at the top level now, though. I mean, the middleweight division is poor, to say the least, at the business end of it, and he's more than ready for any of the world champions, even Janabek, who's considered the best. I'd put Hamza Shiraz in with him. I'd put him in with Carlos Adames. I'd put him in with Erzandi Lara. It's time to go now for him, for sure.
Yeah. No, I was going to pick up on what you were saying there, pick up on a few of those themes. I mean, Tyler Denny, his reactions coming in saying he maybe could have continued, but equally, why? Why would you want to continue? You've been down twice, and you don't look like you're sort of going to be competing. So essentially, the ref, maybe you've extended your career, or at least extended, your sort of cognitive faculties there. But it's interesting you mentioned about Janabek, because in the build up to this fight, wasn't there talk about obviously him avoiding, the sort of 2 million possibly to fight on this card against Hamza Shiraz as well, instead, going to Australia. Do you mentioned those names of Janabek, Adames, and Lara? Would you put? Let's just pick up, how you sort of see those fights going. Do you think, if you put Sheeraz in there now, do you see him beating Janabek? Do you see it being a sort of a close fight again with Adames and Lara? Do you see him sort of coming through them as well and stopping those guys? How do you see those fights playing out?
Mate, the middleweight division is that weak at the minute. You could argue that Hamza Shiraz has got a better resume than any world champion at middleweight. Like, I would, I think the Lara fight stylistically would be a trickier one. I don't think it would be a two-round demolition, but Lara's 41, Hamza Shiraz is what, 26, 27. He's fresh. He carries his power late, as we saw against Dan Williams. I'd be, I don't want to sit here and say I'd 100% back Hamza Sheeraz to stop every one of them. I would obviously have to sit down and have a look, but I would not have any reservations about putting him in with him now. I mean, you're not going to get a better time to go in at world title level in the middleweight division. He's already becoming a superstar. His following seems to be growing. He's Frank Warren's golden boy by the looks of things, and yeah, I would. If I was him, there's no need for any more of these.
Yeah, no, no, I totally agree. I was going to pick up a bit on Tyler Denny, like you say, 33 years old now. 19-3, but stopped a couple of times. People were saying before this fight, maybe sort of European levels where he was at. Do you expect him to sort of have a couple more, maybe European level drop down again, maybe sort of fight on, or do you think, well, we don't know, I haven't seen his paycheck, but do you think, you sort of take the turkey money at this point and call it a day? What do you think for Tyler Denny? How do you see his career progressing?
It depends what he wants. I mean, I don't think he's going to get on another Riyadh season show. I don't think he's ever going to see this sort of payday again. Um, he has got a bit of a following. If they wanted to try and rebuild, I think the Nathan Heaney fight still probably does decent business, decent numbers. Brad Ray. I would like to see him get a shot at the British title, not Brad Ray, Brad Pauls. I'd like to see him get a shot at the British next. I think he's deserved that, even with what's happened tonight. I think it was just he was unfortunate with the landscape of the division that he didn't pick up a British title on his way to becoming European with Brad Ray, Brad Paul. I mean, he's already beaten Brad Pauls, the current champion, so he's more than entitled to. So I would like to see Tyler Denny maybe have one going for the British title fight and make that the sort of phasing out stage of your career because there's still money to be made for him. Not I'm sure when he got paid tonight, but I don't think it's necessarily retirement time yet. I think he will want to go and win that British title.
Yeah, it's a good job you joined us on this video. Not Owen McKendry, he'd have been calling for the gloves to be laid down in the ring undeniably. But I think we'll leave the last comment again with Hamzah Sheeraz. I was just thinking of obviously big fighter, obviously middleweight. Talked about how he's going to get on there, but do you see, over the next sort of year and a half plus, that he could actually maybe even go up to super middleweight and do some damage there? Obviously, not necessarily fighting Canelo possibly, but up against some other names around that division. Do you see him be able to compete even at sort of world and title level at super middleweight as this as the version of him now, or do you think he needs some more improvements before he could compete up there?
Um, Take away Canelo. You look at it, Christian and Billy. I think stylistically that's a good fight for Hamza Sheeraz. Berlanga, Wingea, these are winnable fights for him. Diego Pacheco is an interesting one because they're quite similar fighters, actually, to be honest, stylistically and physically. But that's where he's going to need to go for the big fights. I would imagine he'll plan will be to win a world title, see if unifications are forthcoming, and I don't think the move to super middleweight will be too far away, to be honest with you. And I think he could do well there. You take away Canelo, Benavidez, it doesn't look like it's going to come back there. David Morrell's at light heavyweight now, so I don't think super middle is necessarily that deep in that. It's not this shark tank either. I think you could have success there for sure.
Danny, that's what we've got time for. We have lasted long. You hate to say it, but we've lasted longer than Tyler Denny
Oh
tonight
no!
on this
Oh
video. And
no!
it had to be said, Danny. You weren't going to say it. You're more of a gentleman than I am, so I've had to come up with it. But we are responding, obviously, and reacting to Hamzah Sheeraz's demolition of Tyler Denny, becoming Commonwealth, EBU European WBC silver middleweight champion. Talking a little bit about where he's going to go next. Let us know in the comments whether you agree with us on on where you think we're going to go. But also whether Sheeraz can compete up at super middle. Like and subscribe to the channel. Check out obviously all the content we've got coming through there. All your boxing needs are under one roof. But Danny, thank you very much for your time. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.